Next up on Nevo on the channel, we have the Kia EV9. We're here just outside Nice in France. Beautiful sunny day and this gorgeous matte blue. It's going to come in two different options in Ireland. We're going to get the Earth and the GT line. Today we're going to be looking at the GT line. But if you want to see the prices and book your test drive, make sure you head over to nevo.ie, Ireland's only dedicated electric vehicle platform. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. We're on a big drive to get to 20,000 subscribers. This is a big boy. It is a 3-row all-electric SUV. There are some other 6 and 7 seaters electric SUV in the marketplace, but Kia, this is probably going to be, this is their flagship model. Gorgeous sculpts on it, large Kia logo. In underneath you've got a frunk, 52 litres with the all-wheel drive GT line and 90 litres with the rear-wheel drive Earth model. Digital tiger nose, you've got the gloss black, you've got the star constellation headlights with the high-low beam, more gloss black down in underneath here. With the GT line, it's a bit more aggressive. With the Earth model, which I'll put up on screen now, slightly different front to it with a different headlight system. Daytime running lights, you've got the active aero flaps open there, 360-degree camera, some matte grey cladding down in underneath. Style-wise, it's going to be very opposing on the road. You've got your gloss black trapezoid wheel arches. Wheels come in 19s, 20s and 21s. These are the 21s, two-tone gloss and matte black. Moving down along the side, this has the optional side door mirrors or cameras instead of the mirrors. You've got your gloss black A pillar with your gloss black roof rail and the B pillar as well. I believe in some markets this comes frameless. You've got your flush door handles that are color coded and your gloss black GT line styling with the aluminium plastic looking as well. Length, it's 5 meters. Wheelbase, it's 3 meters. Height, it's 1.7 odd. Yeah, it's a large vehicle, but this is what people want. People want larger vehicles because they need the ISOFIX. There's 4 in this. It has a 6 and a 7-seater configuration. Down along the back then you have your tail lights, but let's change the camera angle and have a look at the boot and the charging on the Kia EV9. So at the top you've got your colour-coded shark fin aerial, you've got your high-level brake lamp with your reversing camera, and up underneath that you also have the window wiper, so it's a lovely clean. You've got that constellation brake lights with the indicators and the reversing lights all built into it. Large Kia logo as well. Both models that we have in Ireland are power tail lift. And even with the third row up, you have 312 to 333 litres. And with that middle row, that second row down, it jumps up to that third row down, it's 828 litres, I believe. And with them all down, it's up in the 2000. So there's a lot going on here. We're going to have a look around the inside, but you've got some underfloor storage for the actual parcel shelf cover, the tonneau cover. You've got the ability to drop the seats. You've got 12 volt, and you can drop everything down from the back here, one touch and everything is automated. But we'll have a look on the inside now in a minute, and this is the 6-seat configuration. Close this down. Otherwise, you've got the GT line badging, you've got the EV9, you've got the gloss black and the gloss grey on the back. Yeah, it's nice. Charging flap is always on the rear right hand side. Kia have their 800 volt architecture. It's got 11 kilowatt on the AC, and on the DC then it can take 240 kilometers, 249 kilometers, something like 50 minutes. It's super fast, and 20 to 80% in 25 minutes. So lots of ability to get this vehicle up and running. In the European market, we're getting a 100 kilowatt hour battery. In North America, I think it's a 76.1 market. So depending on their market will dictate whether there's a standard range or an extended range. Let's have a look on the inside. In the cabin of the Kia EV9, we've got a head-up display as standard across both models. You've got a nice large steering wheel, 4-spoke, with some driver assist buttons on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, it's your audio, radio, and at the very bottom, you've got your drive mode and terrain modes. Nice fit and feel to it. You've got 3 screens all added in together, a 12.3, a 5.3, and another 12.3. And on this model, you have the door mirror cameras. Not bad. I don't think we'll ever see it in the Irish market. Over my left knee, you've got heated, cooled, the ability to open the frunk, open the boot, heated steering wheel, all your window adjustments, so everything has its own dedicated button. And then in the center console, we have the haptic built into the actual dash buttons. You really have to press it to get the actual, to the system to recognize that you're pressing it. You got a physical volume button and the ability to turn off the audio. And then you got physical temperature buttons here as well, and change the actual mode of the ventilation system. So your HVAC with your hazard light button built in. Underneath that, then you've got some power options, power and data. At the moment, it's Android Auto and Apple CarPlay by wired, but we've just got the news that there's going to be a software update for the Kia EV9 with this different entertainment system, and that's going to give you wireless Android and wireless CarPlay in November. So a lot of people have been asking that with the other Kia models and the other Hyundai Group models. You've got your floating center console with some large space in underneath. You've got the ability for 2 cup holders, your wireless charging with hill descent options in underneath here as well. Some more charging here, NFC, and the ability to wireless charge with some more spaces here. The seats themselves are fully automated. These are the relaxation mode. So when you're charging, just at the bottom of the seat, the leg supports come up and it tilts or horizontally back, and that's all held on the side of the actual seat. Comfortable, heated, cooled, a really nice place to be. And on the GT line, you also have a front screen that's manually opened or closed. Let's have a look at the middle row of the Kia EV9. So with this Kia EV9, it is a 3-row all-electric SUV, and you have the option of a bench seat in the middle with a 60-40 split, or like this option with 2 captain's chairs. In the European market and outside of the North American market, we have the option to swivel these as well. So you can choose swivel or you can choose relaxation. So they're motorized, go horizontal, or the swivel seats. And the ability with the swivel seat is you can 90-degree bring in somebody that's a bit more infirm, or load up a child seat, and then you can also swivel it all the way back. So if you wanted the ability to change how you're working or chatting with, really nice, really handy. So in the middle row, that seat has been set for me, and the chair's also moved back. I'm 6'2", 188 centimeters. You've got these Kia sculpted seats with some magazine holders in underneath. I can put my feet in underneath the front driver's seat. I also have about 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, so not bad room. Center console on the GT line has the ability for little trays or for a center console to move in and move out. Some storage in there, and also some cup holders on the top for the second row passengers. These seats are the swivel seats, so not the recline ones we talked about. I've got charger in the back of the seats. For passengers with USB Type-Cs, and these are heated and cooled 3-stage with some buttons on the door. Blinds built in, my own air vent, my own HVAC system up the top, and I've got access to the sunroof. A really nice place to be in the second row of it, but will I fit in the back behind myself at 188 centimeters? We're going to give it a go. So in the third row with the 2 seats in the middle, I have a small bit of extra room for my knee, but I could fit in behind it. I would be a small bit cramped, but I probably could move a bit forward as a driver, and as a passenger move everything slightly forward. I wouldn't be the typical person to be putting in the rear of this. But in the back, I've got my own air vent. I can still see some of the sunroof. I've got my own reading lights. I've got my water bottle holder. I've got USB, and I can also recline this electronically. Overall, the Kia EV9, there's great space, great size. People were looking for this, and it's, as I said, it's probably going to steal a march on the Volvo EX90, but let's take it out for a drive. Some more stats before we take it out for a drive. It's a lithium-ion battery, and the power of the rear-wheel drive, it's a 149.5 kilowatt motor, giving you 203 PS and 350 newton meters of torque. On the all-wheel drive, it's 282.6 kilowatt across both axles, giving you 384 PS and a 600 newton meters of torque. And there is a boost upgrade that you can get, giving you 700 newton meters. Towing capacity on the rear-wheel drive is 900 kg, and on the all-wheel drive, it's 2,500 kg. Let's take it out for a drive. What's it like driving the Kia EV9? And if you want to take it out for a test drive, head over to nevo.ie, Ireland's only dedicated electric vehicle platform, where you can compare the different models, and you can also get in touch with your local Kia dealer and book that test drive. It's hard to argue with the size of the vehicle. It is over 5 meters long, but you know what? The steering is nicely weighted. The seats are gorgeous. Now, the seats are very much going to be with massage in the rear, in the back, massage in the base on this GT line, and also heated and cooled. Yeah, beautiful. And you can see that's made for the American market for sure. But it is, yeah, you wouldn't feel like you're driving a large electric SUV. It is very easy to drive, I'll give it that. We were going through some urban areas earlier on, and yeah, but it's the same as other large SUVs in North America. Obviously, you've got Tellurides. In Europe, we've got the likes of the BMW X5s, X7s, the Volvo XC90, and I see this is where it's going to go up against the electric Volvo, the EX90. Kia are really stealing a march on that launch, and I know that's been pushed back at the moment. So if you're looking for a large 7-seater, 6 or 7-seater with maybe a minimum of 4 ISOFIX with a bit of space, the Kia really in this price point. Now you do have the likes of the Citroen Berlingo as a 7-seater for number 1, and then you scoot up to the likes of the Tesla Model X, but now not available in left-hand drive. Sorry, not available in right-hand drive at the moment. I know Paul in Ireland has a red one in left-hand drive. You have the Mercedes-Benz EQB. So there are a few there, don't get me wrong, but I think this was size-wise, because somebody was talking there on one of my videos, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. We're on a big drive to get to 20,000 subscribers, and they were saying that the likes of the Mercedes-Benz EQB, once you put up the third row of seats, there isn't anything in the back. But and this one, you can see you've got the 333 litres in the boot, so decent size. And then if you put down 1 or 2 of the seats, it is it's very good space wise. In the third row, here we are on a bit of normal roads. Visibility, amazing. You've got that camera for rear view mirror. You have the option of cameras as the door mirrors as well, but you're up in a really high seating position. And because of the 3 rows, yeah, once the bodies start going in the second and the third row, you probably do need that camera. But blind spot, and you also have the blind spot monitoring system in it. Yeah, the suspension is good. It's multi-link. A McPherson strut at the front and then multi-link at the rear, and it does have frequency dampening, so it understands if you're on cobbles, etc. Head-up display is good. The driver cluster is good at that 12.3. Tactile buttons where you want it on the steering wheel and on the actual temperature up and down, even though it does have that little central screen, that 5.3-inch screen as well. The general safety regulations are starting to really come into the electric vehicles and all new vehicles, don't get me wrong. So you have the driver monitoring, little IR sensor sitting on the top of the steering wheel column, monitoring to make sure that I've got my gaze on the road. It's got speed sign recognition, and that resets every single time. So it's not a Kia thing, it's an everything thing at the moment. So what I'm wondering is, will insurance companies start to look at, were these assist systems on, if your policy or your premium will be affected if you start to turn these off? Because I was talking to somebody recently that got a new car. I don't know what car it was, but he was saying it's now muscle memory. He gets in and he turns everything off automatically as he's getting started and getting it, getting the seatbelt on, etc., etc. So if there was an accident, would your insurance be covered if you had these turned off? So here on some windy, hilly roads just outside Nice. Beautiful weather for November. It is a crisp, sunny day. Yeah, what mode is this in? So at the bottom of the steering wheel, you can see here we're in driving modes. So that was normal. So you've got Eco, Normal, Sport. So in Sport, oh yeah, the throttle response really kicks into it. And so this is the all-wheel drive version. In Ireland, we're only going to get 2 trims, the Earth, which is the rear-wheel drive version, and it comes in a 7-seater. And then we're going to get the GT line, which is the all-wheel drive version. And that comes in a 6 and a 7-seater option. Yeah, it's well able to handle itself. There's not too much body roll. I know some of the journalists that went over to Korea when this was launched globally to drive it. The Korean spec suspension was a bit softer than what we're used to in Europe and North America. Yeah, lovely. Very nice. So on the steering wheel, it's good to have the tactile buttons, and you have your drive modes and your terrain modes as well. So it's got sand. There's your speed sign recognition. It is letting me know to slow down. And again, you can turn these off. But I think it's a good thing. I'm happy with them. but the throttle response is nicely mapped, and it is a nice linear, so it's slower moving. The steering wheel is a bit of a heavier weight to it, and then with obviously as you pick up speed, it becomes a bit more lighter to control. With the GT line, you have that Meridian sound system, which is always really good in the Kia. On the door, you've got the ability to have massage, memory presets 1 and 2, and then 3-stage heating, 3-stage cooling, and also 3-stage heated steering wheel. Lots of buttons for everything, which is great to see, and the ability to open the front as well from a button at the front, over my left knee, and the charging port, and also the rear trunk or boot lid. Yeah, nice seating position. Overall, a really nice place to be. Is the Kia EV9 on your list? Are you thinking about a 7-seater electric? Are you a bit of a brand snob, badge snob, and a Kia for this kind of money? I know that a lot of people are saying, my God, it's crazy money. So in Ireland, we have the 2 trims. The Earth is coming in at 77,500 euros, and then the GT line is coming in at 85.5, I think it is. So yeah, it's a lot of money, but I think you get a lot of car for it. Range WLTP is 563 for the Earth. It has the 19-inch wheels, and then 510-ish WLTP. I'm presuming that's going to be 410 and 450 or 460, depending on what do we got. Let me look through, see what I'm getting 21.6 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers, and that was over a 45 kilometer drive from the airport to that venue. So for such a large vehicle, and we were going uphill, now not a lot of motorway in that, don't get me wrong, and I'm sure motorway. What I will be doing is doing a coast to coast in a couple of weeks. We've got the Irish launch coming up. A lot of driver assists that I wasn't able to test today with the highway pilot cruise control. So there is, I'm going to be trying that on that coast to coast. Brakes are good, and you've got the regenerative braking paddles behind the steering wheel as well. So you can go all the way down to 1-pedal drive, and if you like, all the way up to free coasting. It is beeping away at me here because of that speed sign recognition. You really have to watch it, especially with this GT line as well, with that all-wheel drive. Hopefully you've enjoyed my look around and first drive of the Kia EV9. This is the 6-seater version, the GT line. I believe we will get a GT version of this as well, whoever needs that craziness of speed. We're only getting the larger battery size in Ireland. Head over to nevo.ie to see the availability. Leave a comment, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, and remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.